Hi guys, it's Connor. So today I'm going to be doing another technology demonstration. Click the slide. So for today's case study, we have a ninth grade English class with comprised of 15 students, and there's 4 blocks for each period of the day, so you'll get them for 90 minutes. And the criteria that we're really looking for this case study is the literacy requirements provided for the Common Core state standards, which is to analyze how complex characters develop over time, and also a oral ability for students to present information using a line of reasoning and that is evidence-based. So some challenges for this case study that I observed or what was given to us was typically students do not like to present to large groups of people, and also on the flip side, students do not like to observe other students presenting projects because either they're too boring, they're too long, or they're just boring. A lot of students don't like to do them. The other problem is presenting projects takes up a lot of time. So if you have 15 students for 90 minutes and each project is, say, a 10-minute presentation, it's going to take up a lot of time. The teacher is going to miss a lot of days to give out content, and it's just going to put everyone behind. And then also, the students that are spectating are either they're going to get very bored, or they're going to zone out, or they're going to get really burnt out really quickly. And then also, whenever it comes to presenting projects orally, it can be very difficult for the teacher to assess on whether or not a student is actually learning. Because yes, you can grade a student's presentation, but you're not really seeing you're not going deeper into it. You're not seeing if they are actually understanding because they're not being really specific. They're just giving a general presentation for a large audience to observe. So some solutions I have to this for this case study is Seesaw. And Seesaw is a platform for student engagement. And essentially what it does is it's a two-part where it helps the teacher out because it allows students to turn in work en masse to the teacher in an organized, and it's in a one platform sense, so that the teacher has one place where all the coursework is. But it's also unique for students because they can use photos, videos, drawings, text, etc., to turn in their work, to make comments, and to interact and collaborate with each other to be able to do their schoolwork. So the second part of my solution is the divide and conquer method. So essentially, what I'm going to do is, and I'll present this whenever I show my seesaw that I made for this study, is to divide the class and essentially into groups, and the students are going to make an art piece, and students are essentially going to be judging their peers in a guided sense. They're going to be given a comment sheet with questions prompted, but I'll get more into that. And students essentially are going to present their projects in a smaller setting to where multiple presentations are going to be happening at the same time. Now, one could say, is this going to be too loud in the classroom? Is this going to be enough for the teacher to be able to grade and assess orally? My argument to that is yes, because the comment sheets, and again, I'll get more into that. And then also, as for like the volume of the classroom, I think that these presentations should be in a way casual, or they should be in a way more. I would use the word casual. Actually, it's not a formal presentation as if you're presenting, a business project or this elaborate scheme or PowerPoint. It's more you're expressing what you made, why, and how. So right now we're going to go to Seesaw. To do that, we're going to go to Google, and in Google, I'm just going to type in Seesaw login. And we're going to click the first option, and it should ask you to log in, but I believe I'm already logged in. So whenever you log into Seesaw, this is what it's going to look like. And to start off, there are paid versions of Seesaw that allow other functions, such as I believe one of them is like a skill system where teachers can put different skills on assignments that they want students to use. But to summarize, this is what it's going to look like. So there's really two parts that I focus on whenever it comes to Seesaw. So this main button here is Browse Activity Library. We're going to click on that. And there's My Library, the Seesaw Library, and the Community Library. So what are all of these things that my cursor is on? What these are essentially special, these here, because currently we're in the Community Library, these are assignments that different teachers from all across the United States, these are curriculums and assignments that teachers made that other teachers can use for their own classroom. And there's different subjects and grading or grades. So we have like chemistry, algebra, we have other skills like note taking, organizers, goal setting, etc. And because this is the community, these are other teachers, and you can choose to use them or not. The Seesaw Library, these are just these are just assignments that the creators of Seesaw made. So they're really just templates or standardized assignments that anyone can use. My Library are assignments that you create and that you assign to your class. Now, how does the class system work in Seesaw? So we can see here, I created a class. I just titled it My Class. I am the teacher. And let me move my photo here. I can see assigned work, scheduled work, archived work, and the calendar. And the calendar is pretty straightforward. You're going to see when assignments are due, when deadlines are due, scheduled for upcoming assignments, archived so that the teacher is able to look back on past work or comments and grades. And then assigned work are assignments that are currently active. Notifications are whenever students are turning in their work or making comments or collaborating. Progress is to see over time what students are doing. And then the journals are for students to demonstrate their learning, to give comments, and to really just show what they're learning. So for this, we're going to go back out. We're going to go to the library, My Library, and then I'm going to show what I made. So whenever you create an assignment, there's two sections of it. Let me move my photo again. There's the student instruction portion, and then the teacher note portion. So the teacher notes are just for the teacher. Students are not going to be able to see this. But whenever I post an assignment, what students are going to see is essentially this. Once I click that assign button, they're going to get those notifications in their inbox. Excuse me. So for this assignment, for this specific case study, I divided this assignment into 3 parts. So it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It can be done pretty quickly, or within at least either 1 or 2 school days. So, and for the sake of this assignment, it's worded as if a student was reading it or was assigned to it by me if I was their teacher. So this assignment will be comprised of 3 parts. The part 1 is to create an art piece. Now, in the directions for the case study, it talked about how the teacher tried to use an art piece and it kind of didn't work out. And I'll address how I made it work. So the students are going to create an art piece, a poster or a pamphlet, or something else that can be approved by the teacher at their own discretion that showcases character development of a novel of your choice. This could be a scene from your novel, a conversation between 2 characters, a difficult decision or stressful situation being made by the character, etc. Be sure to use legible handwriting and clear pictures. Drawn or printed in color is fine. So students are essentially creating an art piece that they themselves uniquely and in their own expression, they create what they are getting out of a novel, what they are getting out of character development for a specific character in the story. And the student is the one that is creating this. They don't really have they're not going to have a template to follow. It's kind of their own thing. They are the makers of it. So part two is the students are going to take pictures of these physical posters or pamphlets, and they're going to turn them in on Seesaw using either a PDF or upload it as another file. And in addition to that, probably on a Word document, and they're going to upload it to Seesaw. The student is going to create an analysis of the art piece that they made. So they're going to need to justify and explain everything that they're putting into this art project. So if they're creating a scene between two characters fighting, the student is going to need to give context, and they're going to need to explain why this is happening, what the significance of it is, and how it showcases character development. The goal of this analysis is to give a clear cut picture to the teacher that the student is clearly understanding what they're talking about, and that they understand truly what character development is. So now we're going to get on to the final part three. On the day of the assignment, after the student has uploaded it to Seesaw, so the teacher is able to see it for themselves whenever they want to grade it, and they upload the analysis as well. The class will be divided into 5 groups because there's 15 students, 3 students each. Sorry. And each student in each group will be given a comment sheet. This comment sheet will be comprised of various questions inquiring about the art piece. So the goal of the comment sheet is to allow the teacher, it makes the grading process easier for the teacher. So the questions are going to be guided. They're not going to be open-ended. It's going to try to avoid being open-ended for the student to just not give a care or anything about observing what the student is going to be presenting. So the questions are going to be guided, and they're going to be specific questions about a student's project. So was the project clear? Was it legible? Was it easily understandable? Kind of questions like that. So each student, each group will present their physical project to their other group members. And like I said before, this is going to be done in a casual way. It's not going to be done in a loud and really verbose manner where students are essentially yelling at the top of their lungs trying to address an entire classroom. It's going to be done pretty casually, but it's going to be done in a almost like a conversation manner where they're just presenting and expressing themselves. So in my view, it really does address the oral requirements for a student to be able to present using evidence-based. So for this, the students will not have their analysis papers with them whenever they present these projects. They are going to be doing it blind, and it's really going to challenge a student to recall information so that they actually understand what they're talking about and they're confident in their ability to express character development. On top of that, it also shows if they read the novel. Um, so, and while the student is presenting their project, spectator students will fill out the sheet commenting on their peers' work in a constructive manner. Analysis sheets must be turned into the teacher prior to the division of groups. That's going to be done on Seesaw. And some of the teacher notes, I put 2 teacher notes on this. Then these are not visible to the students. It's only visible to the teacher. So the teacher will use analysis pages to create content understanding of the project, comment sheets with limits grade art projects. So what that means is The teacher is going to use the comment sheets to sort of get a basis of if a student is completing the project in the correct way, if they did the presentation okay, if they knew what they're talking about. And the with limits comment is really if, because a teacher can tell if a spectator actually paid attention or actually graded. So that needs to be taken into account. It's not going to be a black and white situation of, oh, this person did a really good job or this person did a really bad job. The teacher kind of is going to step in. But what this does is it makes sure that it encourages strongly the spectators to pay attention to what they're being told. And it also does challenge, the person presenting to be able to recall information and to do it in a constructive manner. So I believe that is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching.